Hello and welcome to the channel. So today I'm talking about The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Fantastic. It is a short book. I quite enjoy this book. It's a reminder that you really don't need to make Herculean efforts. You just need to try. And the thing that you do try doesn't have to be all that grand. It just needs to be consistent. So I took advice, and granted, life gets difficult. So the main advice is small incremental changes that compound over time to lead to great changes. Okay. Or small simple actions to lead to great changes over time. So I started reading 10 pages a day. Am I super consistent with it? No, but I'm more consistent than I otherwise would have been. 10 pages. I tried it with 10 of entertainment, 10 of self-improvement, and that was too much. You have to find something that you can manage consistently. And even if it feels very small, the results are big. Now, the way I've been doing my last couple of book reviews have been they've been for entertaining books, works of fiction. So I broke down the writing style, the plot coherence, the plot enjoyability, like how much did I actually like the story. And I also broke down the pacing. This one, it doesn't work the same way. It's what did I learn? I wrote down some notes. A couple of these notes are from other videos that I happened to watch in the meantime while I was reading it. And I was just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to stick them in here. So I'm going to skip over those, but I will read the bullet points and elaborate on anything that I find particularly interesting. So you have, first and foremost, small, seemingly insignificant steps added together over time creates large, significant changes, seemingly overnight. It goes as follows. If you write a book, and I haven't been writing, I probably should, but it will become part of my habits eventually. If you write 50 words a day, it's tiny, and anyone who writes 600 words. That's like two pages a day. Per day. And it's 2 pages a day. And if you write 50, it's like, oh, it's going to take you forever to write a book of any significant size. But if it's manageable, that's what makes sense. You have to be able to do it over a long period of time. And to anyone on the outside, you write 50 words a day, they'd be like, whatever. It doesn't, like nothing's happening. They can't see what's happening because the changes are so small. But one day, you have a book in front of you, and how you decide to work from there, it lends into the fact that you already put in the effort. It may have taken you months, years, but the results show for them or speak for themselves. Number 2, if you want to improve an aspect of your life, bring awareness to it. Track every aspect of that aspect of your life for at least 3 weeks. It's going under the old idea of building habits, which supposedly takes 21 days or 3 weeks. So if you want to fix your spending, write down everything you buy. You want to track your calories, write down everything you eat and the approximate number of calories. You won't get an exact science on calories. Working with the idea of fitness, and I know I'm not like jacked, but I do have muscle, I do have strength, I do cardio. I very much love fitness. Part of it is tracking calories, and you will not get a specific number. You will get a calorie range, maybe within a 500 calorie difference, depending on how you feel that day. But if you can get your average to be lower than what you're burning, you will lose weight. Just an FYI. Improving one aspect of your life does not stay isolated. It will improve other parts of your life. So, for instance, let's say you walk for 15 minutes a day in addition to what you already do throughout the day. It's a nice, simple walk, but 1, it works your heart just a little bit. 2, it might clear your mind. And 3, you just have a little bit more energy because you're using more energy. Your body gets used to using more energy. So, yeah, your health has improved, but now you have the energy to go with your partner, with your friends, with your family, whoever, and you now have more energy to give to them, which means that your relationships build back up. And who knows, maybe you do more things. It has a compounding effect. Uh, Next one up. The tasks that are implemented must be so easy that you think, why bother? Then bother and stick to them. So again, someone who writes 50 words a day, it will not seem like much. But the fact that you stick to it every single day over time is like, well, yeah, I got to keep it up now because I have made it worth it with the amount of time and energy I've put into it over time. One Herculean feat can make a difference, but that doesn't mean that the difference will have a lasting impact. Whereas, I should fix my posture, whereas small incremental changes over time lead to long-term results because you can maintain them. There must be a sufficient reason why you take on the goal you have in mind. And you've probably heard that before. I've definitely heard it before, is that if you don't have a reason to do something, you're not going to do it. For instance, you want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? And if it's like, oh, I just, like, cause I have to, it's like, then it's not going to stick in your head. But if you think, let's say you're a little bit older, you already have children, and you're like, you know what, I want to be around long enough and well enough to keep up with my grandchildren. At your current weight, if you're already overweight, your current weight, your current fitness level, you probably, because there are some who can't keep up with your grandchildren. Not for the long haul. So there's something. But also, let's say you want to do better in your workplace. Why do you want to do better in your workplace? Just to be better? Probably not going to work. You have a family that you need to support or would like to support better. That will probably propel you forward. The higher the stakes, the higher the reason why you need to get things done, or the greater the reason why you need to get things done. So, momentum is a powerful tool, but it only favors those who continuously put in effort. Something that I've noticed here on the channel, and thank you to all who have gone here on the channel. And by the way, if you've made it this far, please leave a like, share it around, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Is that I've been posting twice a day, only once since I started doing twice a day, only once removing a video that just got 0 views and then putting it in my backlog. But the fact that I continuously put in those two videos, yeah, my views dropped for a little while, but then they're coming back up, and it's like, yes, this is awesome. I gained momentum where I went from 2.3 to 2.5 thousand views a month, which is pretty good considering I was posting nothing. It was what the content I had for 2 years ago. And then all of a sudden it went to 21,000 views, I believe, at its peak. And it was like, whoa. So I really appreciate it. And thank you, because even though it's me putting in the work, it is you all who watch that grants me this momentum. And thank you. It's mostly a hobby, but as it grows, who knows, relationship advice, create a Thanksgiving journal for your partner detailing all the things, big and small, you appreciate about them. So I really like this one. It's interesting because you may find someone conventionally attractive, like they're pretty, they have, you're physically attracted to them. But their personality may not line up with yours at all. And as you get to know them, you're like, I kind of, like, it's gone. Like, that feeling is either gone or it's very minimal, or you'd start to despise them because their values are so far removed from yours that it just doesn't make sense, So it's like, when you find the things that you appreciate in someone, you tend to stick with them a lot more. You may look at your partner and you may look at someone else, and I can't remember. I think it might have been in the book, The Brain That Changes Itself. A man had seen his wife, or he was looking at his wife, and he saw someone that he knew prior, and he's like, oh man, she's gorgeous, and he could acknowledge it. But then he looked over at his wife, and yeah, she was, the other woman was objectively more attractive, subjectively he didn't care. He was like, okay, like, cool, nice to see you. And he moved on with his life because despite her imperfections, or actually because of her imperfections, he saw her more lovingly, more deeply, his wife that is, than the other woman who he had no history with. So calling attention to the things that you appreciate about your partner and doing this for a significant amount of time, especially for an entire year, can really help you not only learn to appreciate them more, but also change how you show up to the relationship. Because if you feel distant from your partner, what's the incentive of putting in effort versus you feel closer to them because you understand them more? You may want to put in more effort and more time and attention and energy into making sure that this good thing doesn't go away. And then the last thing here is give a little more than the bare minimum to catapult your results in life. So I think we can all understand that one, is that if you are constantly giving the bare minimum, things will change. Things will get better eventually. But if you take that one step further, let's say you're supposed to make calls to sell products or whatever, and you have your 10 a day for a long time, and that's what you're doing, right? Well, that just for number's sake. But one day you decide, you know what, I'm going to do 11. And that's the only one you do for a little bit. But then you try it again and like 11, and then another day and 11. At some point, it's going to build up your resilience inside and give you the energy because you've already experienced the next level. You've already started flirting with the idea of changing the status quo, your status quo. And over time, who knows, maybe that one extra call lands you a big deal and you close it and great things happen from there. But either way, it wouldn't have happened if you didn't put in that little bit of extra effort. So that is what I learned with the compound effect. I started there because I have this idea of educating myself. I have a ton of self-help books, and I figure, you know what? I can write down all that wisdom and the things that really stick with me and make sense. And I can build up who I want to be with the help of those mentors. I'm currently working or reading the book Why We Play by Joanne Fortune, I believe. I know her last name is Fortune. It's a pretty interesting book already. I'm only about 20 pages in, give or take. And I think that one will be interesting. I think we can all play a little bit more. But like I said, that's it for The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Get out there, work your noggin, and have a good one.